Today is December 13th, the Nanjing Massacre Memorial Day. When people talk about Nanjing in 1937, they talk about killing, rape, and fire, about how Japanese troops turned the city into a hell. But today, many Chinese mainstream media posted articles about one American female who has protected more than 20,000 refugees from massacre and saving thousands of women from violence and sexual abuse. The people of Nanjing called her a living Buddha. Her name is Minnie Vautrin. Through this video, I want to tell you her story. I want all the world to remember her name, to remember how an ordinary person chose to give her life as the only light in the deepest hell. Minnie Vautrin was born in the United States in 1886. Her youth was not easy, but she chose education as her way forward. In 1912, she came to China as a missionary and educator. It was then that the gears of fate began to turn. After many years' devotion in women's education in China, she came to Nanjing and became the acting president of Jilin College. On August 15, 1937, the Japanese invading forces launched air raids on Nanjing. As the bombing intensified, the U.S. Embassy sent its fourth and final warning, offering Minnie Vautrin, who refused to leave for fourth time, three choices: leave immediately, leave later, or never leave. Vautrin firmly signed her name under Never Leave. She wrote in her diary, "This is my mission. Just as men shouldn't abandon their ships in danger, women should not abandon their children." Determined to live or die with Nanjing, Vautrin possessed not only courage, but also wisdom. She wrote to the U.S. Embassy, urging the establishment of a safety zone and transformed the Jilin College into a refugee camp dedicated to protecting women and children. On December 13, 1937, Japanese troops captured Nanjing and began the massacre that lasted 4 weeks. Women who had no time to flee the city came to Jilin College with children in their arms and the elderly at their side, desperate for protection. Many of them had never seen Vautrin and didn't even know her name, but stories spread from mouth to mouth. They all know in Jilin College there was a living Buddha, a woman who used all her life to protect them from Japanese soldiers. Follow her, and there was a hope of survival. Vautrin wrote, "Tonight, I'm guarding more than 4,000 women and children. I don't know how long I can bear this burden. It's terrifying beyond description." Despite her fear, Vautrin stood watch day and night like an unyielding sentry. Japanese pointed bayonets at her and slapped on her face, but she said, "If you want to kill them, step over my body first." From August 1937 to April 1940, in a state of extreme exhaustion, pain, and psychological collapse, Vautrin persisted in recording everything she witnessed. Her writings, more than 500,000 words mixed with blood and tears, later became crucial evidence in reconstructing the truth of the Nanjing Massacre. On January 28, 1938, Japanese authorities forcibly ordered the closure of the safety zone camps. Large numbers of refugees who were driven out of Jilin College were subsequently assaulted and killed. Vautrin continued to use education as a cover, sheltered more than 800 women. She did more than providing food and shelter. She helped them study, taught vocational skills, and even provided small amounts of capital so they could start business in the future. At the same time, she carried out another extraordinary act. Under the pretext of searching for Chinese soldiers, the Japanese conducted household registrations and brutally executed men who had no family to claim them or whose identities were unclear. Vautrin risked her life to organize women in the shelter to pose as their wives and mothers of these men. In this way, more than 2,000 soldiers and civilians were saved. In recognition of her immense contribution, the nationalist government of China awarded her the Order of the Blue Jade Ribbon, the highest honor bestowed upon foreign nationals. But the cruelty of war, years of overload, repression, and trauma left Vautrin suffering from severe depression. She wrote, "At the sight of airplanes, I tremble. They mean multiplied bodies and terrible suffering. I am nearly exhausted. My hands no longer obey me." On May 14, 1940, gravely ill, Vautrin was escorted back to the United States. She vowed to seek treatment and return to Jilin College once recovered. but the immense trauma inflicted by Japanese atrocities combined with her tormenting guilt for those she couldn't save tightened around her like twin ropes. On May 14, 1941, exactly 1 year after leaving Nanjing, Fortune sealed her doors and windows, turned on the gas, and ended her life. She was only 55 years old. In her final note, she wrote, "I deeply love Jingling College. If I had 10 lives, I would willingly give them all to her." She was buried in Michigan. On her tombstone is an engraving of Jingling College, along with 4 Chinese characters, Jingling forever. Below them, a simple English inscription reads, "Minnie Vautrin, the living Buddha, a missionary who served China for 28 years." The year 2025 is the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance and the World Anti-Fascist War. At this special moment, we must remember the story of Minnie Vautrin. Her story is not just a tale of survival, but a reminder of the power one person can have to change the course of history. In the face of unimaginable darkness, she chose to stand her ground, to protect, to give hope. In that choice, Minnie Vautrin showed us that true courage doesn't see borders. It sees the pain of others and refuses to turn away. Her legacy reminds us that we are all connected by something far deeper than ethnicity or geography. That's our shared humanity. Dear friends, please spare 10 seconds to pray for her. And if any of you in Michigan, please bring the highest respect and longing of us. She will be always in our heart. Remember Minnie Vautrin, not just for what she did, but for what she believed, that to stand for one life is to stand for all lives.